Hey guys, so today we're going to do a little bit of a math review and talk about some things that we've discussed a little bit, but it's good to practice them anyways. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is time. Now this clock you're looking at, it doesn't have any times, but we know that when we are looking at the time, we first need to look at the shorthand. The shorthand is one that tells us the time of the hour. So that's the first number we read. The second number is the second hand is the one that tells us the minute. And when we look at a clock, what do we count by for the big hand? Remember 5, 10, 15, 20. We count by what? We count by fives. So I'm going to point to each of these numbers and I want you to count by fives for me as we make our way around the clock. So let's go ahead and do that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So, when we count all the way around the clock, we make it to 60. Let's practice a few of those. We have a clock right here. We see the shorthand points up at the 11. So we know that the first number is going to be 11 because the shorthand tells us the hour. So it's in the 11 o'clock hour. Now the long hand is pointing up. When the long hand points up, it's 12 o'clock. So, not 12 o'clock, it's o'clock. So when we write o'clock, do we write 12 or do we write a 00? We write a 00. So what time does this clock right here say? It says 11 o'clock. Does this say 11 o'clock right here off to the side? 11.00. Yes, it does. That is 11 o'clock. Let's keep going. The next one we see, the shorthand, he's not really pointing directly at a number, but he's just past the 7. Has he made it to the 8 yet? No, he hasn't. So, we know it's still in the what hour? The 7 hour. So, our first number is going to be 7. Now, when the big hand points up, it's o'clock. When the big hand points down, it's 30. Now, we know it's 30 because we've been saying this since the beginning of the school year. But if we forget that the big hand points down, it's 30, we can start over here at the 1 and count by fives. Let's go ahead and see if we can check that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So yes, we got to 30. So the time on this clock is 7:30. Does this time right here say 7:30? Yes, it does. Let's try another. Oh, this one's getting a little bit harder. Now we see this shorthand. He's just past the 1. Has he made it to the 2 yet? So it's still in the 1 o'clock hour. So what's going to be this first number we write right here? 1 o'clock. Nice job. So we know it's 1 and this long hand is pointing at the 3. Let's count by fives to see what minute the 3 is. 5, 10, 15. So what time is it right here? It is 1:15. Does this time right here say 1:15? It sure does. Nice work. Now we're going to talk about subtraction. I have another little story for you guys about some more bugs. So, let's say we are out in the garden looking at some nice flowers and we see some bugs. How many bugs all together are right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I made a mistake. Right here, it has an addition sign. it should have a subtraction sign. So we're going to pretend that I fixed this and that it has a subtraction sign, because we're talking about taking things away right now. So we're going to say 5 because there's 5 bugs. Now, Mom called us in for lunch, so we went in to eat our sandwich. And when we came back, 4 of those bugs had gone away. So we're going to say 5, and I know it's a plus sign, but we're going to pretend it's take away. 5, take away, 4. How many bugs are left over after that? 1, 2, 3, 4 are gone. How many is left? Just 1. Let's try another one. On this one, I did the right sign. I wasn't silly. So on this subtraction problem, I have bees. How many bees do I have? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 bumblebees. So I'm going to write 7 right here. All right, so 7 bumblebees. And then, how many did I cross out? 1, 2, 3. There are 7 bumblebees, and 3 flew back to the hive. So 7 take away how many? 3. 7 take away 3. So I'm going to put 3 in this next box. Equals how many bees left over? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 take away 3 equals 4. So I would put that right here. Now I have a different kind of problem. You'll see this one later on this week on a different page when you practice. So what we're going to do, kind of like when we graph, we're going to count how many of each different type of vehicle. We see a busy road out down here, and we need to figure out how many of each vehicle there are. So what we're going to do, just like when we graph, we're going to pick one, and then we're going to circle all of those in the picture. Now, when we graph, normally we color in some graphs, but right now we're not going to color anything in. What we're going to do is we're going to pick a number. They give us the number words, so we have to read what number it is. Let's start with this car right here. What color car is this? It's orange and has a little bit of blue detail on it. So first we're going to look for the orange and blue car. So I'm going to circle this one to remind me. All right, so get ready to count with me. I'm going to circle all the orange and blue cars as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So which one of these am I going to circle? I counted 7. Does this say 7? That says 6. Does this say 7? It sure does. So I'm going to circle that one. Because if I look down here, what number does that say? 8. So make sure you circle the 7. Next, I'm going to move on to this motorcycler. So I'm going to circle the motorcycler so I can remember which one I'm working on now. So I'm going to circle the ones in the picture as I count. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, how many motorcycle riders were there? There were 8. Let's see over here. Which one is the number 8? So is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? Which one says 8? It's the first one right up here. Remember, 8 is that silly looking one that starts with EI. This one is 8. The last car is the one that looks like the cop car right here. So I'm going to circle it so I can remember what car I'm counting. It's the white one with the blue stripe. So, are you ready to count? I'm going to circle them and count. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you see any more cars or vehicles out on the road that are not circled? So that means I got them all. Now, when I counted the blue and white cars, I counted to, do you remember what number? 4. So I'm going to look over here and find 4. Is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? It's the first one. F-O-U-R spells 4. So now when you get to that problem, you'll know exactly how to do it. Good luck. I know you will do great.